Joining us on the program tonight, Shabana Azmi from Mumbai joins us this evening. Also with us, Khushbu, who is Congress spokesperson and actor, of course. Sudhanshu Trivedi, spokesperson of the BJP. We have Rana Ayub, senior journalist, joining us from Mumbai tonight. And Waris Pathan, an MLA from the MIM party, also joining us tonight from Mumbai. Shabana Azmi, to you first. You've spoken out very strongly on the fatwa that was issued against AR Rahman, saying that you stand in solidarity, and this Raza Academy, which frankly, I had not heard of till today, has no locus standi on this. Can you elaborate on that? Why is it then that groups like these end up making headlines, and artists, in a sense, also feel intimidated, by what they say and the kind of diktats that they issue?
Firstly, I need to clarify what the fatwa is. I think the term fatwa is bandied around with horror without people actually realizing what it is. Fatwa can only be issued by a mufti if a question is asked by a group or an individual. A mufti is somebody who is supposed to know everything about the religion, and it is an advice that is given on a specific question, and it is only recommendatory in nature. Under no circumstances can it be imposed on anybody. It's as simple as that. We don't have to make it such a big issue. The fact is that who is Raza Academy? What has it done for the welfare of Muslims or its community? Who believes in them? The Raza Academy many years ago had issued a fatwa against me, and we completely ignored it, and that was it. In those days, there weren't television channels making this into such big headline news. I really would urge the media not to give this kind of importance to really an organization that doesn't have a locus standi, and not make them feel so puffed up that they're now being seen on national television. On the other hand, I haven't watched the film Muhammad, so I'm not qualified to speak on the film. I can only surmise that AR Rahman is a devout Muslim. Majid Majidi is known for his humanist work. I do not believe that they would have been careless about putting their names to this project, knowing full well how delicate this matter is. I rest my case because I'm firmly on the side of AR Rahman and Majid Majidi.
You made an important point about ignoring fringe groups in a sense, and not giving them the kind of importance that they get on national media. But Rana Ayub, the problem is that, here in this case, AR Rahman did respond, and there have been reports that the reason he cancelled a show in Delhi was also because, linked to this entire issue. And he has responded very strongly to this. And we have seen what threats by fringe groups, if they do translate into threats, can do to people who speak their mind. And we're seeing that happening with, for instance, the murder of rationalists. So Rana, how do you resolve that, whether to stand up to it and publicize it or to ignore it?
Absolutely, Nidhi. While I do agree with Shabana ji on what she has said about, ignoring the likes of the Raza Academy, but in the times that we live in, wherein we have seen the murder of the Dabholkar or Pansari or Kalburgi, I can understand AR Rahman's apprehensions about these kind of fatwas. I mean, which most of the Indian population does not understand. That the fatwa has to be only given by a scholar. I do not understand who does the Raza Academy represent here. It does not, whether it has any kind of power, any validation or representation from the Islamic community. Secondly, the Raza Academy, if one has to give it that kind of importance, calls itself a Sufi blend of Islam, a Sufi version of Islam. For heaven's sake, AR Rahman, as Shabana ji herself pointed out, is a devout Muslim who practices the Sufi faith of Islam. He is trying to dispel myths about Islam, which which has over a period of time, over years, been linked to terrorism in various stages. There are various notions about Islam, about Prophet Muhammad. So he is doing a good job. He is doing something which the Raza Academy and many such organizations should laud about. The Raza Academy should also understand a little about Islam. Do they know that there was Prophet Dawood alayhi salam and his son Sulaiman alayhi salam, sang praises for Allah in a book called Zabur with music and with making music. So do they even understand the basic of Islam before they go out and issue a fatwa against AR Rahman? I think it's hugely unfortunate on our part as a secular country.
But let me take this and another aspect of this to Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP, because Sudhanshu ji, we are also looking at a situation today where superstar Rajnikanth has, been told by right-wing groups in Tamil Nadu and including by some BJP leaders that he shouldn't play the role of Tipu Sultan in a film. Now, why are, BJP leaders getting into this? There's Mr. L. Ganeshan, who's one of your leaders in Tamil Nadu, who's been quoted in the Indian Express as saying that Rajnikanth shouldn't take up this role portraying Tipu Sultan as a hero because Tipu was an aggressor and so on. Why is this cultural and moral policing happening from groups across the board, whether it's about AR Rahman or about Rajnikanth?
Actually, this entire rise of the radical elements in whatever ideology it is, if you look, it is the genesis of around 50-60 years. How this has grown up? After independence, there was nothing which is problematic either on the communal front or on the caste front or on the regional front. But what happened persistently, those type of fundamental elements have been backed up by the political parties for their minor political interest. For example, in 50s, when Maulana Azad was the first education minister of the country, there was no problem in singing Vande Mataram and even Saraswati Vandana. In 60s, the situation arose that some people say that we will not see Vande Mataram. To the extent the situation rose that in Kerala, some people have gone to the extent of saying that we will not sing national anthem, though it was slashed down by the court. So what happens? You gradually allow the things to go to that extent so that it gives a message that if you become hardliner, you can get something in the back. Like in Shabano case, you have reverted the court judgment. Then what happens? It leads to the Imrana case.
How nicely Sudhanshu has chosen only aspects where he is showing Muslim fundamentalism. It would be very nice of you, Sudhanshu ji, if you would also speak equally strongly
Shabana ji, मेरी पूरी बात सुन लीजिए. मैं आपको और भी fact बताता हूँ. For the first time in the history of India, the Kerala Assembly in 2005 has passed a unanimous resolution. Let me complete the sentence. Unanimous resolution in favor of a terrorist, Mr. Madani, who was there in the Tamil Nadu jail. All parties, Communist plus Congress, voted in favor of them. Then what happens? Even the terrorist elements get emboldened. So what about the radical element? So all political parties must think.
Your party has also in the past favored the likes of a Pragya Thakur.
What about right-wing fundamentalists as well? Sudhanshu Trivedi, I just asked you why BJP leaders are telling Rajnikanth that he shouldn't act as Tipu Sultan in a film. You just had a Bajrang Dal leader who was arrested for tweeting a threat against a rationalist only last week. A rationalist, Mr. Bhagwan, who now is facing another threat. So what about those elements, Mr. Trivedi?
There are so many elements
What
here.
you are saying, it is having two aspects. One is a crime and the other is a concept. If at all it is a crime, the criminal should be punished and the respective state government should deal with them with firm hand. But I am talking about the concept, how the things are emerging, even if the crime starts rising due to some wrong policies. So we must find out a way in which the atmosphere should be there, that these type of fundamental, even with due respect to all the persons in intellectual establishment.
You will talk about everything else, but you will not talk about the questions.
Rana, one second. I just want to ask Sudhanshu a simple question. You're making a difference between, are you saying that right-wing groups that make threats and intimidate people are committing crimes, while those that are, Muslim fundamentalists that also intimidate and threaten people have, a basic philosophy that guides them and an ideology that guides them? You're making a very dangerous distinction.
Everybody on whichever side of ideology he or she is, if they are trying to resort towards violence or intimidating, it is a crime. But then the political party should try to understand, if you are taking the side of persons like Afzal Guru or Yaqub Menon, then what type of psychology you are propagating. There should be a bottom line.
By that logic, one can
cutting across the section of society.
Why was your party supporting Sivananda and Pragya Thakur?
Okay,
why are you supporting Pragya Thakur?
No support of.
Listen.
Okay, one second.
No support.
Shabana
You just
Azmi
name
wants
a
to come in.
single statement
Shabana ji wants to
by
come in, and
any
then I'll
of our
take this to
leader in
Khushbu
support of Pragya
and to
Thakur.
Varis
And one more
Pathan.
thing.
Let me
Yeah,
answer
first
to
Shabana Azmi.
Mr.
First to Shabana Azmi on this point, and then to Varis. One second, Varis Pathan. Shabana Azmi, to you first.
Those criminals who have been convicted by the highest court of the land.
Shabana Azmi, yes.
And none of our leaders has given any statement.
Okay, can we please get Shabana Azmi's mic up? Thank you.
Why is Babu?
Okay, go ahead, Shabana ji.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
See, all fundamentalists of all hues have to be equally condemned because they are mirror images of each other. To say that one is more harmful than the other is patently untrue. We must understand that what we are seeing at the moment is a contest between ideologies of intolerance and ideologies of tolerance. We have to decide that you should never posit this as a Hindu-Muslim debate at all. You should posit it as a debate of the tolerant versus the intolerant. So we are talking about the tolerant Hindu and the tolerant Muslim and the tolerant Christian on the same side against the intolerant Christian, Hindu, Muslim. Please do not posit it as a fight between Hindus and Muslims because it's a fight between ideologies, and what we are seeing today is its ugly head being raised where religious fundamentalism of all hues feed off each other and must be condemned equally.
I think that's a very important point. Khushbu, I take that point to you. Yes. I take that point to you now because, you are, part of this industry today, which is now seeing, the industry there also getting politicized. I mean, this whole thing about Rajnikanth, again, Sudhanshu Trivedi hasn't answered my question on that. I'll ask him about that later. But now actors are being told you can't play this role. You don't play this role or else.
I would like to ask anybody who tells Mr. Rajnikanth not to play this role, who are you to give orders to Mr. Rajnikanth and say that you cannot play this role? Rajnikanth has reached what he is today, the biggest star of Indian cinema, by not listening to them. Who are they? Did they advise him? Were they their personal advisors that they were telling him that aap ye film karo, aap wo film na karo, aap ye karo, aap wo na karo? Come on, where are we heading? What happened to the tolerance level? Whatever film Rajnikanth does, whether he does Baba, whether he does Basha, whether he does Tipu Sultan, the choice is his. Who are you to decide on that? Who are you to say that no, you cannot do a film because it was Tipu Sultan, you cannot do a film because it's Raghavendra Swami? Did anybody come up and say that, did any Muslim come up and say that you cannot play Raghavendra Swami when he did his 100th film?
Varis Pathan, just come in on this debate and give us your first comments. On both ends of the spectrum. Isn't it time, as Shabana Azmi rightly said, to condemn fundamentalism across religions? Let's not make this about Hindu and Muslim fundamentalism.
See, Nidhi, let me first of all tell you one thing, that what Shabana Azmi had just now said, that who is Raza Academy? Let me explain to her. Raza Academy is a very, very old Muslim organization having its followers all over the country. And if the Raza Academy feels that due to certain films or certain lyrics in the films or the music of the film hurts a particular sentiments of a community, then why should the film not be banned? Before it takes an ugly turn and before the law and order situation erupts, it is better for the people to just see that such a kind of
Muslim community. Who has given you the
No,
right
I am talking about the fundamental rights of every individual in this country. We are the first people to talk about fundamental right of each and every individual person in this country. You don't know. See, you don't play religious politics.
Sure.
Don't play religious politics. Here the thing is a sentiment, hurting a sentiment of a particular community by your acts, by your actions, by the words spoken. If all the three combine together, it hurts a particular sentiment, then you must definitely succumb to
the Raza Academy
and see that it is removed. Such kind of objectionable things are removed.
Have they seen the film
if somebody
Muhammad?
hurts the Now if somebody feels that Muhammad, who's the prophet, is the messenger of God, and we don't call him Muhammad, we call him Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, we take his name by respect, and nobody has got the right to see by his action or by his words spoken hurt the sentiments of the Muslim community. We will stop that.
Varis Pathan, my simple question to you is, how is the Raza, one second everybody, Varis Pathan, how is the Raza Academy representative of Muslims? Who said they are?
Because they,
Who said that they are representing the Muslim community? How do you make the Muslim community a monolith in this country?
They are representative of a Barelvi sect of the Muslim community, which is all over India. People are listening to them. People do understand
to come in on that. Khushbu is asking you a simple question. And so is Shabana
Azmi. It is followed by all.
No. I would like to remind you.
Followed by Barelvi.
Excuse me, Mr. Raza. I would like to tell you.
See,
I would like to give you a very clear example
and
here.
as far as Rajnikanth is concerned, now let me come on Rajnikanth before everybody enters into it.
Khushbu wants to rebut you on this particular point. 1 second. Let's try and have a civilized debate.
You don't instigate. You do not instigate by saying that there will be a law and order problem. It will take an ugly turn. You do not instigate the problems.
That is why Fatwa is issued that it should not happen.
That
is why Fatwa is issued to ensure that such kind of things don't happen in the country. If somebody tries to see that the law and situation is maintained, Fatwa is issued. What wrong is there?
Did you say that we welcome Rahman when he addressed Islam?
Let her finish her point. Let her finish her point. Let her finish.
Let me finish.
Let Khushbu finish her point.
There was the same issue with one of the. There was a film which was released last year, and the same issues were started about one particular community, saying that this film cannot release because it's going to create a law and order problem, and this particular community is going to be completely hurt in that particular area of Tamil Nadu. But let me tell you that film release, and it did the best business in that particular area, where was this fringe group saying that there's going to be law and order problem. So you don't decide for the people. No. You don't decide for the people. You don't decide for the people. Secondly, I'm asking you simple. No, there's no business. There's no business. There's no business here.
Who has given you the
right? Who are you to decide? That's what I'm asking you. Who are you to decide for me? Who are you to decide?
1 second. Everyone just please calm down.
Who are you to decide?
Let's please try and have a calm debate. That is my only request. 1 second. Let's all take a breather. Let me get Shabana Azmi on this, and Rana, and then Sudhanshu. Shabana Azmi, the point here is, and this is the problem we perennially face. Everybody claims to represent the sentiments of a particular community, whether it is right-wing fundamentalist groups or Muslim fundamentalist groups. Now, Waris Pathan says the Raza Academy is representative. How do we resolve this issue? Who is here to decide who represents whose sentiments? And that is the crux of the problem.
The community. The fact is that the community doesn't care for the Raza Academy. And that has been demonstrated several hundred times. One of them being personally against me, because the Raza Academy had issued a fatwa against me, and nothing came of it because we ignored them. And firstly, has the Raza Academy seen the film Muhammad? First, you have to see the film before you react.
You are representing the film fraternity. Yes.